So let's talk a little bit about Tim. Your some of the brands or the labels, I guess that because we know you are a designer, but we all do know that at some point there were some inspiration that kind of So who would you say? Well, name some designers, man, that inspired you.
That inspired me, I would have to say, instead of a brand, it was a person,
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, go.
Because as long as we've been knowing each other, I've been wearing the flare leg pant,
sir.
and I was doing it and getting a lot of criticism from it because it's like, where you going with that, blah, blah, blah. Because I was doing it when practically nobody was doing it. Plus, I was making it so you couldn't find it in the store at that time, So Jimi Hendrix has been like my biggest fashion influence. And if you notice, he was a man that had like super-tastic confidence. Absolutely. Because he wore lace, he wore,
fishnet, didn't matter.
all of it. And so because he was such a big influence, he influenced Prince, in musically and fashion-wise, because then Prince started wearing the lace and the high heels and just all this kind of stuff, So when people are saying different things about, fashion or what I do or whatever, and it's like, there's nothing I'm doing that's new. It's absolutely nothing that I'm doing that's new. So it's more of a person that has been my biggest influence than a particular brand, because now I'm able to create whatever is in my head, because sometimes I can't find it. And like with the flare leg pant, I could find like some vintage ones, but it's like, it was hard because I'm 6'2", and I got super long legs.
I thought you were taller than that. You're just 6'2"?
I'm 6'2",
okay.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I got to make it, So even now, stuff that I like, and I don't see it in the store, I'll just make it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I also believe that there have been some brands that have been following me secretly and copying some of my stuff.
They do it, and believe it or not, even some of the stuff I've been wearing, because I'll pull out some pieces that may be from like a cowboy store or a vintage type of store, and then I'll see other brands start to do it too. Mm-hmm. So my inspiration, as you can see on the wall, is Rat Pack and Bob Dylan. I like the 60s and the 70s type of style, very similar to yours. And you're right. I bet they are looking at some of the things that you're doing.
Yeah. And one in particular, the largest retailer in the world, which you probably know who it is, I did a turtleneck, and it was sequin on the front of it, and like that, maybe like 6 months later or so, I saw it in the store.
Oh yeah, they bite everybody.
Because when I wore it, people that are very fashionable was like, "Where did you get that from?" Like, I've never ever seen that, especially for a man. Right. Like, I've never seen that before ever. Yeah. And I saw it in it just like I did it.
Right. And then they sell it for a small fraction.
Yeah. And then people was like, well, you need to sue them. I'm like, I can't. Right. They are a huge conglomerate. Yeah. I'm just a little ant. Mm-hmm. I can't,
For now.
Yeah, for now. For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. I love it, man. And so I guess we talked about the confidence, we talked about inspiration, style inspiration. What about for somebody who's really trying to reinvent or create themselves or create a new style for themselves? What advice would you give somebody like that?
I think first they need to connect with the professional. Okay. Somebody that maybe they look up to, somebody that they follow, who is in the business, that they like what they do, because we all kind of gravitate to, just like you said, like Bob Dylan and all these people. Those are inspirations. Right. And that's really what we do. We just kind of provide inspiration to people. And sometimes my clients will come to me and they say, "Hey, I like this kind of style, but I don't know how to put it together." You know what I'm saying? Because we're usually inspired by something or someone. Right. And it could be even an era, like you and I both, we love the 60s and the 70s, so it's that era. And that's like a whole session we can do.
Oh,
Just
absolutely,
talking about
and we will. We will.
because even now, I have to say this. Even now, there's still some guys, and I've even had some clients that said that they cannot and they will not get into the flare leg pant.
Wow.
You know, and right now, it's more than just flare leg. It's the baggy.
Yep.
It's the baggy, boxy look.
Right.
And so they say, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like, well, that's the same thing you said when we tried to get you in the slim fit.
Right.
You know, you couldn't get out of those pleated pants. Now pleated pant has made a whole nother circle.
It has.
You know, it has come back around to where, you know, because I was one of the ones who was criticizing guys wearing pleated pants.
Right.
And now I'm wearing
And it's funny because I put a poll on my Instagram, and I put it was a clip that somebody had that was talking about is skinny jeans or skinny pant, or is it out of style? What would you rather, skinny or baggy? Well, surprisingly enough, out of everybody who took the poll, only one person said skinny.
Really?
Everybody's now shifted over to the baggy. Look, can you believe that? and I was going on their pages. I was like, okay, so this person like baggy?
Yes.
Wow. So now they're starting to kind of see and be more open-minded, because for us with confidence, we can wear any of it.
Any of it.
I'll pull out some skinny pants right now and wear them again.
Yes.
So we dress for the way that we feel,
Yes.
and just according to the way we want to step out, just in general. You know, that's confidence.
Exactly. Can we talk about this when it comes to what we wear, and you know, because there's this thing with social media, you can get caught up into this matrix kind of thing with social media, to where you don't ever post you in the same thing more than once.
Who made that rule?
I don't know who made that rule, but listen, everybody. I am one of the ones, I don't give a ham hock. Okay? I really don't. I will wear it as many times as I like. And I remember I made this post, I think, before COVID. It's been that long ago, where I said, I don't have a problem wearing the same thing over and over and over again. I honestly, I don't. And that's a part of confidence.
Right.
Because I don't really care if people say, I just saw you in that like 2 weeks ago. It's like, yeah, I bought it, or I made it, or whatever, and I like it. It makes me feel good. So I'm going to wear it again. Right. And I may even post it with me in it again 2 weeks later on social media. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. For those of you who follow me or don't follow me, if you go to my social media, you can see I made a Gucci jacket. Okay. I don't know if you saw it.
I probably have. I've seen all these.
You got to go to my page and see it. It's a Gucci jacket. I wore it like 2 weekends in a row. And I saw some of the same people at the event. So at the 2 different events, I wore the same thing. Because why? I have the confidence to do it. And it was almost like they didn't even see it, even though you can't miss it, because it's got all the Gucci prints and stuff on there. But it was the fact that I really think that we as a culture, we need to get out of that. Yes. Because when you think about it, like my parents back in the day, they didn't have nowhere near as many clothes as like we have today, and they did wear the same thing over and over. You know, most of our moms would have like 1 or 2 black dresses, and you may have a white one, and you know, maybe a couple more, and that was it. And so for church, they would just, you know, this is first Sunday, this is second, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, but I really do think that social media has kind of stripped a lot of people away from confidence in really doing and feeling the way they need to feel, because people are so like, oh, they're gonna say I just had to. Who cares?
There are no rules. And the thing about it, when people tell me that, I know I say, okay, it's okay. This is my uniform.
Okay.
You know, I may have, like these pants I have on, I got about 9 or 10 of the same. I don't care. You know, some of them I wear a little bit baggier, some of them I wear more fitted. And so it just doesn't matter to me. And I really don't care. And to your point, that's confidence.
It is.
It's confidence. You don't care about what people think of you whenever you're confident.
You don't.
Who cares? It's like I mentioned in my last video, there are no rules to fashion. And if there were, we would break them all day long.
Exactly. Exactly. And then when you really think about it, to be honest, and this is part of like fashion education, um, America is one of the most condensed and has the most boundaries than any other nation on the planet. Because when you go to Europe, I mean, it's like insane. There's only one place in the whole United States where you can really just wear what you want to. And of course, that's New York City.
Absolutely.
You know, even in LA,
Yeah, you can get away with it.
like LA is not a fashionable city. You have that one little Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills. Outside of that, you're not going to see a bunch of fashion. You're not going to see it in Chicago. You're not going to see it in Philly. And I'm not saying that you guys don't dress, but you're not considered to be a fashion beacon.
Right, like a Paris.
Yeah,
or
like
even in China, Shanghai.
Shanghai, Tokyo, you know, I mean, like if you ever watched any of the YouTube videos or you visited those places, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Absolutely. It's like, wow.
That's New York on steroids.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. And I was just in Shanghai back in August. And I mean, there are 23 million people.
Oh, I know.
That's LA, New York, and Houston all in one city. And I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. It's wild. And so it's to his point here. I mean, we're missing out here in America. And the thing is, the beauty of it, you know, is that it's like a blank canvas. You can really do whatever you want. But people are so worried about what the next person is going to say about them to where they just, in their homes, they're probably trying on different outfits in the mirror and dancing and stuff, but they will never wear that outfit. They'll never wear it, man.
Exactly.
But the thing is, we don't know if we will live to see tomorrow. So, man, put it on.
Put it on.
Put it on today.
Yes. And you don't always have to have a reason. You know, it doesn't always have to be I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I've done for years. Is I have a ton of tuxedo blazers.
Okay, I like those.
And I would throw on one of those with a t-shirt and a pair of jeans.
Jeans, man.
So I don't need to have a tuxedo blazer just to go to a formal event.
Right.
You know, I mean that's one of the simplest events. I mean, things that I can think of when it's like what you have, you know, put it on and wear it. You know. Absolutely.
So speaking of that, what would you, whenever you're putting your outfits together, do you start with one particular garment, like shoes? How do you put your pieces together?
Yeah. A lot of times it can start with the shoes because even when I work with clients, I always tell them the most money we're going to spend on any one item will possibly be the shoes because that's the foundation.
Absolutely.
And then I work up. With me personally, it all depends on what it is. Because I mean, I don't have to always work with the shoes, but it could be a blazer. It could be, you know, it could be a hat. It could be anything. I can work from the top down. I can work from the bottom up. I can work from side up or whatever, you know, because there's some things that inspire me. Right. You know, like for example, like if I go to the store, like this shirt, I was like, okay, what can I do with it? And so it started from here. And then I was like, okay, I'll put these jeans on and I got these boots, you know. And then when I know anything, it actually comes together because sometimes I can be kind of like blind, like a reckless, where it's almost like you close your eyes and you go in your closet and you like pull this and pull that. And then you say, I don't care what it is, I'm gonna put it on. And sometimes it works. And you know, and I'm thinking about how people in the church would like open up the Bible with their eyes closed and they would like point to the scripture and they say, "Oh, this is what the Lord has said to me right now."
Yeah, that's funny. That is funny, man. But the thing is, you know, ultimately, I guess there's so many different. We talked about so much today that we can dissect each one of those topics that we did bring up in our discussion, and I definitely want to do that. But what we'll do, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back here in a second. It's been fun, man, having this discussion. And like I said offline, we need to take a lot of these things that we talked about, a lot of these nuggets, and maybe break them down for the audience here, because I'm sure that they really want to know. Yes. But I do want to close out this segment with a question for you. And the thing is, I had several, but this was one that really stood out to me. So what are some common fashion mistakes that men make? And how can they avoid making it? I knew you'd laugh at this one. Let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
You fistna get me in trouble.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Give us at least one or two, man.
My God. Okay, like how many hours you said we got? There are quite a few.
Okay.
For one, I think fit.
Yes.
Fit is like so important. It could be, and I think one of the biggest one I'm going to park at is stuff too tight.
Yes.
It's like, I can read the numbers on your phone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just too tight. I still to this day I eventually figured it out. Why do men wear socks with flip-flops and slides, or slides better?
Right.
Like, why? And I figured it out, and I was like, okay, I know, I got it now. It's because those toes look like, damn it, I'll bite you. I mean, their feet, because when you know for a fact, because we dealt with this when we were together with the organization, that grooming is so important, and for so long, men have not been in the grooming mode. And when it came to your feet and your hands and your nails, that was one of the ones that they didn't even bother to touch. And so I was like, that's why. Yeah. Because it's to hide. So that, I think, is something. The other thing too is putting pieces together that actually complement who you are, instead of you maybe seeing something in a store and you just say, I just want that. Right. Or, you have somebody that don't know what they're doing. They're telling you, well, they put this together, and it's like, no, you look a hot mess. Yeah. Because everybody now is a stylist. Everybody's a stylist. They know nothing about color, patterns, textures. If you got a bow leg guy, what works best for them versus a guy with long legs like me and a shorter torso or longer torso. It's like all that kind of stuff, which is like a whole nother.
Oh, it sure is. I didn't even think about that topic. I need to write that
down. So just so I won't belabor the question, I'll just stick with just that. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so again, folks, thank y'all for joining. I mean, there are so many gems that were brought up here, and we will continue this. I hope. But I want y'all to follow Tim. I want you to go ahead and give them your information so that they can follow your platform.
Sure. If you're on Facebook, I'm Tim Thorn, Thorn, no E, on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Paisley360, just like the design Paisley, the very classic design, Paisley360 on Instagram. And TikTok, it's Cashmere and Fur. And it's Cashmere with a K, and Fur is FUHR. So it's different.
And I'll put it on the
I know, because y'all may not remember all of that, which is no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Anything else you want?
No, I mean, I'm actually looking forward to more, because there's so much more. So much more to talk about.
It's a lot.
And it's only to talk about these things to really help.
That's it.
To help and to inspire.
Yeah. That's all it is. We're not here to pick on anybody. Okay. And in fact, before we started this segment, we were talking about how a lot of people really don't even want to talk about this stuff or even bring up these topics because of backlash that could come out of this. But when you're confident, who cares about backlash? You know what I mean? We're just calling it like it is and hoping that we can help people out there feel better about themselves.
Right, exactly.
So,
exactly.
Tim, thank you, man. And we'll definitely do this again. And so for those of you, again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you like this episode. And also in the comments, put in the comment section what you would like for Tim and I to discuss even in the next video. That would help us out a whole lot. Okay, until next time, we'll see you later.